I'm going to talk you through that number 6 just to kind of refresh your memory. So it's saying find the actual score when we have the standard score. That's the z-score, in other words. Remember, standard score is equivalent to z-score. So that's saying that we have 0.87 is equal to some amount we don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. Minus, for all of these examples, we're using this information. So the mean is 100 all over 6. So we talked about these already, right? We decided we need to multiply by 6 and add that 100 there to get what our value is for x. So on that one, what would it be? 105.22. Okay. All right. So what's different about these last 2 questions is, if you notice, you're not given the z-score, you're given a percentage, or in some instances it might be a percentile. So there's going to be one extra step that we have to do, and that is we've got to go to this table. Okay, so it says find the actual score for students who are in the bottom 25%. So visually, I want you to think about what that means. So if we're at the bottom 25%, we're somewhere down in here somewhere, right? So the first thing that we're going to need to do is figure out what the corresponding z-score is, and then from there we can take that z-score and we can plug in to get the actual score. When you see a percentile or a percent in a question, when you are looking on this table, you've got to be able to find the z-score. It means you're going to look, you're working backwards now. So in this case, you need to look in what I refer to as the meat of the table. You are looking for as close to 25% as you can find in the meat of this table. So we know we're looking on the left-hand side, and we've got to kind of skim through and look for as close to 25% as we can get. Let me see. We're closer with the negative. Ooh, careful. Okay, 25%, so move that decimal point. So we need to be down a little bit lower, Malachi. So I'm looking, it looks like it's closer at negative 0.67, a little bit closer at negative 0.67, as opposed to negative 0.68. Not much, but it's a little bit closer at negative 0.67. So look at that and see that's as close to 25% as we get. Do you see that? Okay, Malachi, be careful. You hadn't moved the decimal, I think. Okay, so that was one extra step. Now we have that z-score, and now we can figure out what x is, because we can subtract the 100 and divide by 6. So we do the math here. 6 times that negative 0.67, add the 100. What do we get? X is, for an actual score of 95.95. On that one.
How do you not get a negative if you're multiplying by negative?
I'm sorry, say that again.
How do you not get a negative if you're multiplying by negative?
Well, okay, yeah, the z-score is negative, you're right. So we're multiplying by the 6, and then basically that's getting subtracted from 100, right? We're adding this to the other side. Like, I'm not writing out the math, but we would do this math of 6 times negative 0.67 equals x minus 100. And then we're adding 100 to this. So essentially what this is saying is take 100, which is our mean, and we're taking away how much this is to get our actual score. Does that help? Do you see what I mean? Okay. Because remember, we're getting that actual score there. So negative 0.67 means we're about right here, and it's everything lower. All right, on this next question, you got to be careful reading this, because it's saying find the actual score for students who are in the top 10%. So I need you to think visually about what that's going to look like on a number, on a curve. I'm not drawing very pretty curves here, but the top 10% means we are up here somewhere. Okay, so the key is to remember that the way the table is set up, we're not looking at values from here and lower, and higher, like what this is suggesting. So we need to think about what the percentile would be here and lower. So the top 10% really means that we are looking at the 90th percentile on this table, right? Does that make sense? If we've got 10% from here and higher, then this is 90% here. So that's the value we want to look at here in our table. So we're looking for as close to 90% as we can get. 1.2, yeah, 1.28. So our z-score is 1.28, and that's equal to x minus 100 all over 6. We cross
Wait,
multiply.
where do you get the 6 from?
That's our standard deviation.
Oh,
So cross multiply by the 6, add the 100, and what do we get? We get x is equal to 107.68 for an actual score. Okay.